That's not ballasted very well.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer.
You want to zoom on that one?
Sure. Looks like the same guy, but. Yep. Hemicralium. Thanks.
Okay, full wide.
Yeah, there was a request that came in from another geologist earlier. They were looking for something with thicker manganese-coated crusts.
Do you have a picture of the rock they collected?
Ooh.
There's a bigger one.
Yeah, can we get a zoom on that, please?
Yeah. You want the little one at all?
Yeah,
first?
that would be good.
Well, you do use these zooms, might be a moment to put the step in.
Yeah, you could do a step, I think. Okay, zoom in, please. Gab, you happy with that? Soft slope.
Bridge
there.
north, step north, please. 10 meters.
Thanks, that's good on that guy.
All right.
Looks like that same primnoid.
Come wide.
I think these rocks have the right texture that they're looking for.
And go in again.
That's a beautiful colony.
The brittle star is like camouflaged on that one. Can barely see it. I think that's brittle star, right?
Yeah, these are brittle stars.
okay with that?
Yep, that's great. Thanks.
All right, full wide. Oh, what's this?
Yeah, what's that over there?
Oh, there's some interesting things here.
Yep.
What is this? Is this zoom in there video?
What?
Whoa.
What is that? Oh my gosh.
Turn the lasers off, Gabby.
It's like maybe an anemone. Crazy stock though. Wow.
That is bizarre looking. Is there like another like stalk and tentacles on the inside, it looks like?
Is this something that's worth sampling, Sam?
I don't think so.
It's not a coral or a rock, and Sam only wants coral, White only wants rocks.
We have sampled a sponge on this cruise, or on our watch, I mean.
On our watch?
Yeah,
The other watch did one. I saw them vacuuming a sponge.
that giant one.
Yeah.
Maybe that was when I was on for like dinner relief.
Ah,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, because I don't think we have
Okay, full wide, please.
as a whole crew.
So technically I didn't choose to sample that one, but I still did it.
That thing's funky. I
So
don't know what
was
that
there
is.
a guess as to what that is?
I mean, I'm guessing it's some kind of anemone.
That's an anemone, huh?
But I'm not sure.
Zoom in there, video.
Are these just dead sponges, it looks like?
That's good.
Yeah. And
In a
can we zoom a little
coral?
tighter on the white
They're covered in crinoids.
fragments?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a carnite
Go ahead,
party.
video.
Is that a primnoid peeking through?
Something.
No, I don't. Actually, there is a sponge that looks like that. But
Okay, come wide.
if it's a primnode, the polyps are tiny.
Do you want this coral?
Yep.
Go ahead and zoom in.
Okay, that's another hemicralium. And
Yeah.
just a tangle of
I was
crinoids.
gonna say, is it even on anything? It's just,
Something. Gotta be
Yeah,
on there.
Oh,
old sponge maybe. I can't see it.
yeah.
Can't see the sponge for the crinoids. You know that famous saying.
As they say. Oh, it's funny.
Funky.
Oh, it's on more of that little white guy. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
You want to go look at the white one?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's the same thing we had looked at a second ago. Just trying to figure out what it is.
Okay, full wide.
Could do a quick zoom on this one. It looks like that same primnoid right in the lasers.
Hey, zoom in there.
Thanks, yep. Primnoid looks like maybe Narella or Calyptrophora. Ooh, there are a lot of sponges.
Okay, full wide.
Does it look like it flattens out up here? Would it be an easy place to get a rock sample?
I can get a rock sample from here if you see something you like. It does flatten out up ahead though.
Yeah, slightly at least.
Can you zoom in on some of these and we'll just look at the texture of them?
Go ahead for a partial zoom there. That's
I'm looking
probably
for,
good.
see that like bumpy texture on the rocks?
Yeah.
I'm looking for one that doesn't have a lot of sediment on it.
You guys know about the front box being booby trapped, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever we pick up, we want to make sure we can fit in the starboard.
What does the starboard box look like right now?
It has only things in the two small ones.
Okay.
Want to do another ship move?
Yep.
So let's see, I'm not really interested in these smaller angular ones that look like they may have fallen here.
Bridge snap. Step, please.
It's the larger kind of bumpy textured rock. And it tends to have a little more sediment trapped on it.
Do you mean stuff like that the lasers is on? Are on
No,
now?
more to the left, to your left. See the rock that has like the tiny little bumps on them? If you zoom in, you could tell a little bit better.
Go ahead, zoom in more.
Upper left.
Like one of those rocks?
Yeah.
The ones under the lasers now?
No, to the left. No, I'm not interested in the small ones.
Something like you see where the
Yeah,
bumps
but
are on
that's
that.
like way too big, so...
Yeah, it's massive.
There's some pieces of stuff that looks more like that. Let's see. These look loose.
They don't, but I can give them a go. Not always right
We
about
could wait
that.
till you're in a better spot to sit down, unless this is fine.
This is fine.
Alright.
What are you looking at exactly?
Right above the laser.
Yeah. Okay. Full wide, please. Want to open the iris a little bit there, video? And can you zoom in on Argus a little? It's good, thanks. Gabby, you want to have a go poking around in there?
There's that, there's a rock there with a crinoid on it. It's kind of large.
Wait, I don't see which one has the crinoid on it. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, that's
huge.
pretty big.
Yeah, I don't think that fits. Only in the porch. And it's way too early for that.
That's right.
There's one right above your manipulator arm that's
Kind of the
roundish.
ball thing,
Yeah. See that?
Yeah.
Maybe I can rack back and give you. You open the iris more, video? See that arm a little bit better. There you go.
You like this one, Dwight?
Yeah.
Looks.
But I have no idea if any of this is loose, so if you want to just scratch at some of this.
I think that.
Did it move?
I thought it wiggled. I'm making it up.
I thought it was going to be loose.
It's a good shape. Yeah, I knew that.
There we go.
Yeah, it looks like a good one.
Yeah. Where's this going to go?
Starboard.
Starboard, the forward starboard one.
Okay.
Stab it.
Stab.
Can we zoom on it before you pick it up?
A little bit, but this is as far
you're
as the
not-
camera
yeah, you
goes
can't
over.
Go over yeah.
Yeah. Video,
That's
you
right.
can pull in as far as you can there. See if it's useful. Happy with that?
Yeah.
6'9".
Okay. Go a little wider, video. Thank you.
Do you need wider? Is that okay?
That's just great. We can go all the way wide.
Bring it out closer to the center.
Yeah, that'd be great. See if I can find the light. It's here. Video, you're gonna want to go open that iris a bit. There you go. Okay, and give me a zoom. Nice, okay.
It's a little bit knobby.
A little bit.
Some iron oxidation on it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
It'll do.
All right, full
go
wide.
wide. And this is going starboard, sorry, big, little, where?
The big one.
Okay, forward or aft?
Forward.
Okay. Oh, thanks, guys. That's a lovely one.
Mm-hmm.
That is just delightful.
Just for you.
Thanks.
Be careful going around there.
I see
rocks.
that. That is bad. Not ideal.
Get your elbow in there.
Yeah. I got you. It'd be nice if I could see an Argus.
I think you're good.
Okay.
Just take it easy. Yes.
Nice.
All right, switching. Box open.
That's good.
Think it'll fit in one of the smaller ones?
I don't know.
We'll see.
I think it might.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah,
You wanna try
I
that?
would do that then and save the larger ones
Okay,
for.
box out.
You're gonna have to go and see
Okay, is that that's the third one back?
the third one back, yeah.
Okay.
I would probably just drop that in, like lie down flat on the
Okay.
top. It's just gonna fall. Rather than have the tangle to get the jaws out. Close.
Should fit.
Yeah, we can wiggle it around or something if it doesn't. Looking pretty good.
Looks good.
Yep. No, you just,
It's okay.
yeah,
I
just
think-
close the jaws and play with it.
Yeah.
Poke it around.
I was just gonna push it a little.
It's just held up on that little nodule.
Mm.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice job.
Nice job.
Box in. Yeah, good job.
Oh my god, that's low.
Hmm?
That box is low today.
Slow again. Yeah, we're deep now. Deeper we go, the slower this stuff works. Alright, switching the cameras.
Can you go back real quick to the starboard salvo for me?
See shadow.
Yeah.
There's lots of room there. It's just when
Yeah.
you come around the front, it's kind of close to the rocks.
Yeah, I see. Thanks. Okay.
Hold
Back
there.
to normal. It's fine.
Okay.
Good. Is that all we want here?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
That was a fun one. I love grabbing rocks. That is so fun.
Just for you.
Thanks.
Oh my god.
Don't
What's
worry,
up?
This ridiculous thing.
Yeah, I know.
we'll get you one of the
It's killing me.
escape artist and enemies next, Gabby.
Oh, No. I actually think anemones might be my least favorite thing to sample because they're all like squishy and stuff.
Okay, can I get the bubble over the
Yeah.
porch?
Do you want me to bring Argus back out?
Yes, please.
Dwight, why were you more interested in a knobby rock specifically?
It's part of the mineralization of the manganese oxides on the rock,
Okay.
and we have interest in that from the shore, but there's also interest in the basalt itself from these steep walls. So hopefully that one rock can serve both purposes.
Gotcha.
So the basalt is the original rock, and then the manganese oxidation and incrustation is formed after.
Yeah, let's do a move, yeah.
Reach nav, step please.
Where's our waypoint, Albert?
Due north. It's selected here. Oh no, wait. It's not selected on one side.
Zoom in there.
Now you have it.
All right, full wide.
Oh, it's still 1,000 meters away. Wow. Okay. And how much lateral distance are we supposed to try to cover each watch? Do you know?
Same,
Same.
about 1,000 meters. Albert, how much ground have we covered so far?
Not much. But I think we can reach the one.
Your mic is very quiet for me. I don't know if that's just me or not.
No, I can barely hear you.
Craft comp the same.
My mic is now better now.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
It's because today it's tough. I'm falling asleep and speaking
Oh,
quite.
usually been in at like closer
But
to 3.5.
we've been moving like
Yeah.
90 meters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for. Yeah.
Do you want another one?
Yep.
Breed snap step, please.
So friends, if you could do a ROV dive anywhere in the world, where would you go?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm kind of obsessed with the west coast of BC, the seamounts.
I knew you were going to say that.
I have been talking about nothing else.
They were beautiful.
They were ridiculous, just like lots and lots of giant sponges and crazy, like just huge, like almost as tall as the vehicle, a couple of them.
You zoom in there.
Wow.
They were magical.
I didn't do any of the Galapagos work, and I haven't worked down there with anybody. I would think that some of that stuff must have looked amazing, and it'd be a really cool place to go.
I agree. No step.
Does anyone here want on the Galapagos? Dwight?
Snap step, please.
I was not, no.
Did you see some of that stuff from shore?
Oh, yeah.
And what do you think? Good? Worth going to?
Yeah. Well, they spent a lot of time like, going back to where the original discovery was, and it was all erupted over and decimated.
Oh, wild.
So they actually had a hard time finding like the active vents with the tube berms and everything. So but they did find it towards the end.
I would love to dive on the Antarctic Peninsula as well.
I was thinking
we've done
about
a lot
that.
of like a lot of the sampling down there. It's just like very hard to get a system down there. A lot of the sampling is done by trawling, which is pretty destructive.
We do a quick zoom on this guy, Mike.
But we just pull up some unbelievable critters. Really beautiful sponges and other inverts, and like there's just awesome stuff down there. Tons of diversity underwater that you don't see on land. I would love to dive right on the peninsula.
Did you see the video from the UK where they did the sub dive down there under the ice?
I didn't see that one. I've seen a few from the Aleutian where they were taking the manned subs down.
Thanks, Mike. That's good.
They would get like totally closed in by krill, and they wouldn't dive under the ice. What was the UK one?
It was this researcher John Copley, and he took a sub down there with the British Antarctic program, I think. And
a manned sub?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a cool video.
Yes, I've seen some manned stuff, for sure. I haven't seen any like ROV dives, which I think would give you a little more scope.
Yeah.
Certainly more depth. Some of those a lot of those manned systems go down to 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah, this one wasn't very deep.
I might be wrong, but I know Ropo system was down there a few years ago on a big Russian science vessel, and I'm pretty sure they did some under ice runs.
Oh, neat.
That's
that would be a
super
good
cool.
system to do under ice stuff with too. You got a ton of scope.
Yeah, they'd probably be good at that.
Hey, Dwight, if you want to send Nautilus to Antarctica. I'm on board.
You are on board.
I don't know if I'd be on board for Antarctica with the ship.
This is not such a great Antarctic ship.
No?
You could go look for...
No, but if you packed up Herc, like, that wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, that
I mean, packing up Herc would be a big job.
Zoom in there.
Shackleton's Endurance is down there, too.
They say that.
You don't think so?
I think it would be a tough thing to find.
That would be cool, though.
It would be super cool.
Yeah. We don't have good nav, like, about where he went down, where the ship went down. So it'd be a tough find.
It's what happened when you are the first explorers, or one of the first explorers.
Yeah.
Okay, full wide.
And it was wooden, and from what I've seen, there's a lot of things that live down there.
Yeah.
And they eat everything.
Woodfalls are a big, big thing, yeah. In the deep sea. Critters love them.
Yeah.
Sailors hate them.
Sailors.
Dwight, how about you? Where would you want to dive?
Yeah, I was thinking Shackleton's Endurance was one of my choices.
That's cool.
But, I don't know. There's the Indian Ocean is hugely unexplored, and there's a bunch of mid-ocean ridge systems through there that I'm sure would be pretty spectacular to image.
The Indian Ocean's largely unexplored? Is that really true?
Yeah.
No kidding. So we've been going to the Atlantic and the Pacific. Is it just because it's like remote from the
it's
systems
far
that
away, hard to
can
get to. Yeah,
do the exploration?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking our type of exploration with ROVs and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, if you look up just like general deep sea species records, there's a huge bias.
Yes, for a zoom.
As you get closer to major research centers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I guess I believe that. I mean, like, Monterey Bay is, like, mapped within, like, an inch of its life, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think what we saw earlier, those, like, little strands coming out are just part of these glass sponges that Euplectellidae. I failed Latin class. Clearly.
So these things with the crinoids on them are sponges, you're saying?
Yeah, well, earlier we had seen, you see these like longer strands coming out. It almost looked like a coral species. But
Okay, full wide.
I think it's just these long.
Huh.
I don't know if strands is the right word for sponge taxonomy, but I'm going to call them strands.
Interesting. It was so different than the other ones.
Although, Nick, I liked your frond word. I'm going to start using that to describe things.
I'm here for you.
It works well.
Oh, Rhodogorgia.
Oh, there's one.
Our favorite.
We haven't seen one in a while. Sam, do you have a favorite coral?
Hey, zoom in.
Paragorgia.
Well, I mean, I have a love-hate, mostly love with Lophelia, which is the stony coral that I did my PhD work on.
Ah.
And not, you know, I'm 3 years out, so it's almost all love now.
Just needed some distance.
I needed to move out. It's like me and my brother were never friends until he went to college, and then best friends.
Did you study the Lophelia along the East Coast?
Hey.
No, that was, I mean, we
Alrighty,
knew some of it was there when I was earlier on in grad school, but a lot of that was discovered while or after grad school. No, most of my work was in the Gulf of Mexico. And then one small part of the project in Sweden. In Sweden, studying Norwegian corals.
Why not Norway? Why didn't you go to Norwegian for Norwegian corals.
Norway.
Well, because I had a grant to go to Sweden.
Ah.
And yeah, the corals that I had access to were just across the border. So they were technically from Norway.
You in Gothenburg?
Just north, there's a little marine station up there. And hey Kelly, are there any people from Sweden on?
Good question. I will look. There are 2 people from Sweden on.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to get in trouble, but it's a little village called Fiskebashkul. So at least that's how my wife and I said it.
We'll see if they write in.
Tell you, man, people would come up to us and start speaking Swedish, and we would say, like, talk or something, like, which I think means thank you, and it's just one syllable. And the second we would say it, they'd be like, oh, you're American.
Oh.
So if I can't get one syllable right, definitely
Pretty
not.
much everyone spoke English
Yes,
there,
yeah.
which is
Oh, it's
Can you, zoom in
incredible.
there?
Snap, can we step, please?
Well, and they very frequently will apologize for their English, and it's like, I'm like, your English is better than mine.
yeah.
Oh, Chrysogorgia. Well, Chrysogorgid. Not necessarily Chrysogorgia.
That's a really pretty one.
Sam, can you say the name of the village again? Our Swedish listener wants to hear it again.
Oh no, here we go.
Oh my God, did they really ask?
Yeah. He said hi from Sweden.
All
What
right,
was
full
the
wide,
village
please.
name?
Well, first of all, I'm so sorry. We were there for 3 months, so we probably should have learned it better. But Fiskebashkul?
Okay.
Fishing bash.
That's really funny.
Come on, Albert. You spell it very differently from what you would expect.
Yeah. That's why I asked.
And zoom in there.
Wonderful place, though.
I bet it is.
I feel like it's almost time to sample again. I don't know if anyone
Yeah.
else feels like that, but
Yeah,
I like that idea.
I've been saving it a little bit because we lost both front boxes, and I don't want to
Okay, full wide.
end up wishing we had more space later
Now
in the
he's
dive.
being
but
responsible, you know.
is the slurp working?
We're gonna fill up all the starboard boxes, and then it becomes Alexis's problem.
But then it becomes our problem again at the end.
That's true. Actually.
We've gone down this road before.
That's okay. We just get creative. We put something on the porch. We snip and slurp a lot.
The slurp is working. And
Is
we
it
have
empty, or?
2 slurps full.
Okay, so we have 6 or 5?
5.
Because there's there's a flush, right? Yeah. I mean, there's always a balance, but you don't want to like fill your box in the first 5 hours of the dive.
You don't want to miss something good.
Yeah.
You can always open the front box and that will go away and you will recover 2 spaces. In
After
case-
Trevor's hard work.
I mean,
That was
and
actually, did you guys see that? That was super impressive.
It was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
It was
impressive.
floating away and he caught it and he stuffed it back in.
it was like the
Yeah.
hardest claw game in America. Yeah, because I'm thinking like some of these features up here might be pretty cool.
Oh. Another move?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it. Bridge nav step, please.
Sam, someone from Norway wrote in too, saying they have the best corals and are very excited you know about them.
They do have some of the best corals, yeah.
Ooh, maybe I want to dive in Norway then.
How do you measure the goodness of a coral?
That would be
How
super
excited the scientists get.
Okay.
Ooh.
Could we do a quick zoom on that guy on the top,
Yeah.
please? Doesn't look like it's doing so well.
No.
Hmm.
Okay, zoom in there.
Nope.
An old corralled skeleton, looks like. Thanks.
What do you think it is about a coral that when it's alive keeps a
Okay,
lot of
full
these
wide.
things off of it that colonize it when it's dead?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have defensive mechanisms, so...
Really?
They can mucus.
yeah, mucus, they have stinging cells, they even have, like, special digestive... appendage might be too strong of a word, but they have these, like, tendrils,
How
maybe,
strong
that
of
can...
a word is appendage?
For science,
It's pretty
I mean,
strong.
It's
Pretty
pretty strong.
strong.
It's like when people say octopuses have tentacles, and you're like, hold on, they're arms. I don't do that, actually. I'm not this. But they have these, like, digestive tendrils
I
that
gotta
on.
digest that for a
can come
second.
out. Yes, I made Gabby turn off SPF.
We're the 10 meter step, so I think it's good.
Yeah.
So shallow water corals, I don't usually say this,
It's
but
not
they're
step,
cool in terms of they compete a lot
Zoom
with
in
each
there,
other
video.
for space, which these deep sea guys, maybe they do a little bit, we don't know, but for the most part, as you can see, there's a lot of space, and stuff isn't always too dense. But shallow water corals, I mean, like, space is like money, right? Like, so they are
Money.
fighting with each other all the time, and essentially just like trying to digest their neighbor, unless they're related.
Huh.
So,
So yeah, it's really when you have something that comes along and clears off some of the protective tissue and polyps, and
Okay,
then you
full
have
wide.
stuff that comes in and colonizes.
so if you are a coral in shallow water and you lose a branch, and that branch becomes a new coral,
Uh-huh.
eventually you will try to eat it.
I wouldn't say we 100% know that all over the place,
be
but there's
eating
been
yourself?
there's been some studies that they do self-recognize.
Ah,
So
so it wouldn't eat the one
They-
that just fell from them.
no. Or I
Oh
mean,
my
or
God.
presumably the same species. I mean, they don't know if
Ah,
you know,
okay.
they're not like barcoding the DNA to know if it's exact clone.
Through like some chemotaxi or something, they
Yeah.
sense, hey, you're a friend.
Yeah.
It's crazy in these like shallow water ecosystems when a coral dies, how quickly it's colonized by.
Like anything, right?
Anything,
Like in
anything.
the intertidal, you see the
Yeah.
same thing. I mean, space is like the primary thing that things are fighting over.
So octopus have arms and jellyfish have tentacles?
Oh, I was being a little cavalier. I think technically tentacles refer to like specific feeding apparatuses.
Okay. I understood what you were saying. Like, they're totally arms compared, if you like compare them to like a jellyfish
Yeah.
tentacle or something. We're talking a whole nother
Well,
like,
and
league.
as you're speaking, Gabby, jellyfish, people get really up in arms about
Up in arms or
Up in
tentacles?
tentacles.
Well
up in
done.
tentacles about calling jellyfish instead of jellies, or calling
Well, hello.
what's the other one?
Breeds now?
Ctenophorus?
Starfish.
Sea stars and
Starfish.
Oh,
starfish.
Starfish.
You know,
and
can I
sea
just say,
stars.
I don't know, it's late in the night, so people
Okay.
get so annoyed about that
I know.
because they're like, hey, it's not a fish, it's not a star. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you know what, a
Zoom in
seahorse
Yeah.
is not a horse.
It's not a horse, yeah.
Not even that
A
closely
rockfish
related.
is not a rock. It's a fish.
I don't-
It's a fish.
I don't know.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Pluto is a planet, though. Let's,
Whoa.
Pineapple does belong on pizza.
I
No,
agree with that.
I disagree.
only with ham, though. Otherwise,
I-
it's just
oof.
weird.
I don't want to argue this.
I feel like we don't want to be in this really controversial territory
Yeah, no
on such a
politics.
public family forum.
That's
Good
true.
call,
Yeah,
Gabby.
it's horrible. No,
Let's
yeah,
just leave the pizza argument.
yeah.
So Sam, while we're looking at brittle stars, actually, we have an oceanography class that is tuning in, and they're wondering if
Nice.
brittle
That is
stars feed
stunning.
on the corals, or are they filter feeders as well?
Hi,
Okay, full wide,
oceanography
please.
class. Yeah, so these guys are what we have often referred to as commensalists, which means that they benefit from being on the corals but don't harm the corals. Some evidence coming out that it's actually a mutualism, that they kind of help each other. But they are essentially just using these corals as real estate to get up into the water column and have better access to the particles floating by. So yeah, they're filter feeding.
Okay, I have another obscure corally question. So a coral like that grows in a fan, it manages somehow to like never actually like occlude itself, right? Like it grows just into, each branch grows just until it's right near
Yep.
another branch, but they never overlap, so that they're never occluding the other branches feeding relative to the like prevailing current or whatever. How are they doing that? It's not like seeing itself and being like, nope, I'm not going to grow over there.
Well, I think it's part just the morphology of that coral, which is probably determined by its genetics. But yeah, they're really fine. Like, you can see on some of these like corallids corals, the pink guys, that, you know, polyps will come from different branches to within like a centimeter of each other, and just like you get this like perfectly
So that
They can
last
probably
one we were
sense
on was
that.
like a perfect like puzzle
Snap,
piece.
step, please.
I'm
Yeah, so
wondering
I-
if they've got some chemistry in the water.
Zoom
that's
in there,
like,
video.
Stay away.
Yeah, so I think in general it's like the morphology is the overall structure, but then on that kind of finer scale, they're definitely like chemically sensing like, hey, there's a
And
polyp
physically,
of-
that would shift the current, the local current moving past.
Yeah,
the
see,
two.
even here, like it's not really ever occluding other branches. That grows
Yep.
very close, but
Except we did collect one coral that was fused.
Yeah, I mean, some have different morphologies
Yeah, that one was strange.
that fuse. You see that in forests sometimes too. It's a really cool effect. I forget what they call it. I'm not a terrestrial ecologist, but you have like the crown of the forest, and some species of trees, even the same species, they don't like to overlap or touch. So you get this like weird like half-foot gap between all the trees.
oh, cool.
That's really cool.
Okay, full wide.
It's called crown shyness,
Crown shyness.
which is kind of a cool term. So I guess we could call it coral shyness. Unless you're a different species, and then coral, I'm going to try to digest you.
It's pretty aggressive.
It's an aggressive move, yes. It would be frowned upon, for example, in polite society.
Zoom in there.
Step.
I don't know what this is. Yeah, step in.
Breathe, snap, step, please.
I don't either.
Whoa.
Is it a cucumber?
Cucumber?
Is it a sea cucumber?
Yeah, I think,
Just
yeah.
like less purple than the other ones we've seen.
But it looks like it's a, like it's,
Tired.
Oh,
Take a
whoa.
nap.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're
It's
right.
got to be a sea
Golly.
cucumber, but that's like the strangest sea
It's
cucumber.
like a little more transparent.
Yeah.
And just one side is super purple.
Should we slurp it?
I don't want to jam the slurp, then we'll really have zero sampling capabilities.
It looks so pliable.
Okay, come wide, please.
speaking of sampling, which we weren't speaking of, but we have not taken any Niskins yet either.
Nope. I don't think we've seen a high enough diversity or abundance.
Roger.
Yeah.
We need all that DNA in the water.
Yeah, I mean, so my hope for this dive, just looking at the bathymetry that we got last night, is that we're going to maybe get to a lot of cooler features in terms of what biology might be there.
Most of this bathymetry was gathered this morning.
Yeah. Sorry, I meant to say thank you, Albert.
Yeah, the comparison of what we could see in the seamount, the data we had before mapping and what we have now is crazy.
Yeah, and it's such a tribute to why we often do this paired multi-beam and then go in with the ROV later, because planning the dive is, you know, we're on a ridge line that you could not see at all in the original bathymetry.
Sam, that's an interesting word you keep on using. What is bathymetry?
So the depth of the seafloor. Albert would be the person to talk to about the ship's multi-beam system.
Albert, what can you tell
collects
us? Tell me more.
About the multi-beam system on board?
And bathymetry.
Sorry, what was the...
He said about bathymetry.
Bathymetry.
Ah, bathymetry.
Yeah.
Zoom in there, please.
Bathymetry, what do you want to know? Like, bathymetries are just the elevation mapped of the seafloor.
It's like
How
a,
we
it's
gather
like a
them.
topographic,
Topography
yeah.
for the ocean.
How we gather them
floor.
is the interesting thing. How we represent that, like, bathymetry is just... I believe it's like bathy means something like constant depth or something like that. So it's just bathymetry is
Okay, full wide.
the set of lines that define the different contours on depth. So, but the interesting thing is how we gather that data with the multibeam, which is a sensor that I always find extremely complex. It's like last summer I was very lucky to stay out here with somebody who is a very a world-leading expert on multibeams, and he explained to me the intrinsics on how that worked, the basics of the intrinsics of how that works.
Zoom in there.
I found it mind-blowing. Like, somebody has to be really smart to get to do this thing. Then we are the users. We're not that smart. But yet it's tricky to operate. It has a lot of tiny things that you have to be careful. It's a system that likes taking its time to do the things right. So you have to start the sensor.
Okay, come wide.
A good amount of time that before we start actually mapping, and yeah, it's interesting. But essentially, what the multibeam does to retrieve the bathymetry data is it shouts out loud from several sound sources in a way that the sound overlaps and points to a specific place, and then it listens on the different directions, and from that it composes kind of different sound beams for different directions, and it gives us how far away the seabed on each direction was. And then you move the ship forward, and then you get another swath, and you get like 2D profiles every time. So we have to move the ship to get the overall